take on, it needs to be easy enough for your grandmother to use. So what is Cointext? How is it paving the way for crypto savagery?
Well, first off, you're in Australia, right?
Absolutely.
So our private beta's in Australia. When we're done with this, I'll actually send you some funds and you can start playing with it right away.
Oh, fantastic. One of the benefits of interviewing Vin Armani. Awesome, man.
Yeah,
I'll be sure to spread it on my podcast.
Yeah, it's good. Well, but one important thing is, in discussing this, and I think that it's a good jumping off point. I've been a software developer. I've been a hacker for about 25 years and a professional software developer for 15. And that's what I was doing when the reality show thing kind of came along. And then I took a detour. So this is me going back to my sort of professional proficiency, if you will.
Similar upbringing here. I studied software engineering. I actually went into reality TV shows, but only a few years recently. So I see a lot of commonalities there. But please go on.
Yeah. So then you know that there is a huge difference between trying to explain a vision of particularly something that's a relatively new technology concept and just letting people play with it. The difference is night and day of actually letting someone have the experience. I mean, my first experience with Uber is testament to that. And I think a lot of people that's true for as well. You could explain it all day, but to actually have the experience and then to realize, oh, wow, you see that it's an absolute game changer. So the question I think ultimately that I first sought out to answer, or the problem that I first sought out to solve with this particular product was, I've been involved in cryptocurrency since 2012. December 2012 was when I bought my first Bitcoin. And so I've had a great many years of trying to talk with people about cryptocurrency. And, so often when it's one-on-one, I talk to them and they're like, okay, I kind of get it, but like, where do I get some Bitcoin? Like, how do I get some Bitcoin? How do I get some cryptocurrency? And it's always been, okay, well, take out your phone and download this app. And then they open up the app and it's like, okay, now you're going to need to save your private key and then your backup phrase, and you're going to need to do all of this. And then finally, maybe 15 minutes in, I get a chance to actually send some money to their wallet. And that's a long process. And from there, it's also sometimes very daunting for people because the interface is weird. Like, what's this QR code? They don't know what, is this safe? Like, how do I look at this? It becomes very difficult. So in this case, that same sort of question, when I talk with people, the power of this is that somebody says, oh, well, where do I get some cryptocurrency? And I say, well, what's your phone number? And within 35 seconds, I'm like, okay, check your phone. I've just sent them funds. And then from there, that's their wallet. Their wallet's actually built on their phone. So people can go and check out cointext.io. They can look at how the technology works. But that's the problem that we're trying to solve. Now, what it has lent itself to is the realization that, okay, well, this actually means you don't need a smartphone and you don't even need to have internet. You just need access to if you can text, you're good. And this takes cryptocurrency to a whole realm and a whole group of individuals throughout the world who maybe have feature phones. And that's billions of people who, for them up until now, real world sort of purchases with cryptocurrency, which is what I'm all about, it's been just unavailable, completely unavailable. And also, the reason why we use Bitcoin Cash is, I initially had built many of these libraries back in 2015 on the Bitcoin blockchain. There was no Bitcoin Cash at the time. And that was at a time when you could push through transactions onto the blockchain with literally no mining fee whatsoever. So they were really, truly free. And they had zero confirmation, where you could use it with zero confirmation, which is gone now in BTC. So the fees, when I moved away from this and decided we were going to use Bitcoin Cash and started developing Cointext, the fees for regular or legacy Bitcoin BTC, they were, $10 average. Now they're even $2. But I say, but how do people who make $5 a day, how do we onboard them if it's going to cost them $2 to even send 25 cents?
Exactly.
Which is this is just the basic structure of how the blockchain works. So it has to be on a network, and Bitcoin Cash has sub 1 cent fees. So it had to be on a network if we were going to do this and truly roll it out and roll it out as a solution that the entire world could use and use easily. It had to be on a sub 1 cent fee network. And Bitcoin Cash, I think we're about to see in the next couple of weeks, we're about to see Bitcoin Cash decouple from BTC. The biggest, so BitPay and Coinbase on their merchant solution now accept it. So this has taken some, I mean, you can pay for Microsoft, you could pay on the Xbox network, you could pay for games in BCH now. That was just announced earlier this week. So it's Microsoft, like when you get players on that level, then you see, okay, this is a real thing. So that's, I mean, that's our goal. Our goal is to provide actual technological solutions. For a long time now, I've said there are no political solutions. I just don't believe that to be the case. And so Jacques Ellul in the Technological Society, great book, he's got a quote that says, "There are no political solutions, only technological ones, and the rest is propaganda." And so I just don't even want to play propaganda. I'm like, we have the capability to build the future. I think that's a part of crypto savagery, is just to say, no, let's just build it and then let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
And let's do it for purpose, but let's do it for profit too. They don't have to be separated from each other. Like if there's, Austrian economics is so key in this way that it's like, if there is value, if people see value in X thing, if people see value in ending poverty, then that means people will pay to end poverty. And clearly they do. Clearly they do. So why not create a technological solution that will help to alleviate poverty and at the same time will make the person who helped to alleviate poverty rich? I think that's to start making these sorts of economic incentives starts to take the greatest minds and have them start to work on things that they otherwise wouldn't, because, somebody who's a hot shit software developer doesn't want to go work for a nonprofit. They want to go work for Google. And so let's start making the Googles that actually change the world in the way that we want. That's where so this is, I believe, part of crypto savagery. This is, I believe, what's now possible. We can start thinking this way because we can crowdfund, we can do ICOs, we can self-fund a lot of this because the infrastructure is good enough to do it and it's cheap enough. So yeah, Cointext, I think, is more than just a product for cryptocurrency. It's really a broader vision of maybe what future businesses and future projects can start to look like.